Please.
Does the panel think it's fair that the super rich and privileged can buy protection for their reputations when they stray like randy tomcats?
Max Mosley.
Oh dear. I thought that was going to be me. I think the answer really is this, that if you allow that some parts of your life can be private, and the law does actually say that in this country, then it's completely right that anybody who has a difficulty of that kind should be able to protect their reputation. But there's an implicit part of your question which is different, which is the law far too expensive? And the answer to that is yes. And so everybody should be allowed to protect their reputation, their privacy rather. But it should not cost a king's ransom to do it. And those two things tend to get confused. People talk about the rich and powerful doing these things. The only reason that it is the rich is because you have to be rich. And that is, in my view, completely wrong, and that's where we need the reform. There's a great deal of talk about libel and privacy and bringing in these reforms, but the fact of the matter is that until somebody gets the cost of it down so that the other 90% of the population can afford it, it's academic. It's no good. If you can't afford to do it, what difference does it make?
Your case, you've not actually ever asked for an injunction, I think I'm right in saying.
No, because in my case, they ambushed me.
Yes, and your thing at the European Court was about not being ambushed. You should be warned when you were going to be in the press.
Exactly,
yes.
So that you'd have a chance, at least a chance to ask for an injunction. You then might or might not get one.
All right. James O'Brien, as a journalist, what's your view of injunctions and super injunctions?
I think the way one phrases the question can provide a myriad of different answers. Do I care about the sex life of some footballer, or indeed of Max Mosley's peculiar tastes, which I personally consider to be much more of a problem than homosexuality? The answer would be no.
You have to join in.
The answer... Unfortunately, your family were brought into it as a result of your behaviour. So your flippant comments, while funny, do perhaps mask the greater injuries that were done during that particular episode. So my answer to that question would be no. I'm not. Neither am I interested in your peccadillos, nor am I keen to share in them. However, if you ask me whether a young woman's own sexual behaviour should be she should be prevented from talking about it because the man with whom she has been indulging in sexual relations has decided that he doesn't want his wife to find out, or his employer, or his adoring public who think that he is a paragon of family values, then I'm afraid my answer is a categorical yes. I do want to see these super injunctions removed because of the 30 or so that are currently in place, I don't believe a single one has been sought by a woman. Now, that isn't proof of misogyny, but it's certainly a pretty broad hint that this is about rich, powerful men being allowed to do whatever they like with less powerful, less rich women, and then getting away with it. And if I may, just briefly try and bring it to a question which is the one that must be asked, and that is this. If something is true, if something is demonstrably true, and it poses a threat to neither national security nor the personal safety of anybody involved, should newspapers be allowed to print it? And the answer is yes. And the problem is, if you don't want to see it printed, don't do it.
Okay.